Okay, so we're learning imposition and varnish tonight. So we're going to do the imposition varnish CEX class exercise. I'm going to download the PDF and the zip file. And I'm going to make sure that the zip file is on my desktop because we're working off the desktop. It should be in downloads. There it is. And I'm going to take the zip folder and throw it in the trash because I don't need it. Okay, so inside this folder, there's going to be an InDesign file, fish icons, and fish mastheads. So now, I know I showed you guys how to do the imposition, and you guys could take a picture of that later on. But we're going to do the varnish first because it makes sense to design your document first and then do the imposition. Okay? So any minute now. Maybe I have so much energy tonight because this is my favorite lesson to teach in this class. Oh, and while this is recording and while you guys are listening, this is on the final. Do I need to repeat myself? No? Okay. Okay. All right, so I'm here. Someone changed my desktop, so I'm going to change it back. Boom. Okay. So when you open this up, page 1 is Gill's Gazette. I'm like Stan Lee. I love alliterations. Angela alliterations. And the rest of it is just text. 8 is blank because when we start putting in our fish, it's going to flow into 8. Okay? So let's read our spec sheet. And you guys, you know what? I'm just not feeling it this semester making you guys read it. I'm going to read it. Is that okay? Does anyone have a problem with that? Or does someone want to read it? If they want to read it, I'll let you read it. No? Okay. So this is Gill's Gazette newsletter. We're going to print 5,000 copies. It's going to be 8 pages including cover. So it's 4 pages interior, 4 pages cover, total 8. The flat size is 14 by 10. The fold size is 7 by 10. This sounds familiar. Could this be the annual report that everyone in Type 2 is working on? I think it could be. It's going to print 5/5. Process color, that's 4 inks, plus a spot varnish. White coated 80-pound text house paper, full bleeds. We're going to design this in InDesign, and it's going to be a flood gloss varnish on covers 1 and 4. You guys know what pages are covers 1 and 4? I'm sorry? 1 and 8? Anyone disagree? Or are you too scared to disagree? Who has no idea? Okay, thanks for being honest. Vernon? High five. No, don't do it just like, yeah, okay. High five. All right, so 1 and 4. So this is what you guys have to know. This is cover 1, even though it is a self cover. Okay, that's his nickname. Okay, this is cover 4. This is cover 2, and this is cover 3. Because these 4 pages are the exterior sheet. Okay, does that make sense? It could be page 1, cover 1, page 2, cover 2, page 7, cover 3, page 8, cover 4. Okay? All right. So we're going to put a flood varnish on these 2 pages, and we're going to put a spot varnish on the interior pages. Spot varnish is indicated in a PMS color, which we have to indicate to the printer so they know. Okay, is everybody with me? All right, let's do this. So, if we go to the InDesign document, you know, I learned this last week, my fellow classmates. Let's see, can I find it? You can go to create outlet and it shows you the size of it. And you can change the size. You can do all that stuff. It's really awesome. I didn't know you could do that. Okay. So I like going into the document setup. This is 7 by 10, which is what we needed. There's a total of 8 pages was what I would like. Great. And let's start doing our varnish. So in your folder, you have an AI file, and we're going to open that in Illustrator. Okay. Now, you guys, Consuelo passed around that notebook that had the UV varnish, and then there was that other one with the matte varnish. You know, you could apply a matte varnish or dull varnish and a gloss varnish all on the same sheet. They will both be spot color, but you can do a lot of visual elements mixing up varnishes and using spot varnish. Like I did this brochure, I cannot find it, where it's of the 2 globes and it shows each side of the globe. And I went in and I made the continents gloss, but everything else that was water and the rest of the cover was dull. And I didn't use actual ink. It just printed blue, and then the continents were in gloss, so those really, really stood out. Okay? So you can do cool things like that with varnish. Okay, so this is our artwork. Isn't it lovely? It's fishy fishies. This is a dingbat font. Basically, it's a font that doesn't consist of letters. It consists of art. And a lot of guys, this sometimes could be a real savior when you have a dingbat font. You can use it as graphics. APA, we couldn't buy. We didn't have the budget to buy artwork. So a lot of times my clip art came from a dingbat font. Okay, so that can really help you out in a pinch. And then I have the 3 colors. So this is what we're going to do. Wait, how many? 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 3. I want you guys to select. You can select any ones you want. I want you to select 3 fish, but I want one to be really big, like horizontal big. Okay. Oh, I'm going to get a stingray. Oops. We got to ungroup it, y'all. Okay. So I want to get a stingray, an octopi, and I'm going to get a scary fish. Oh, I never used that one before. What happened? Oh, okay. Wasn't selecting everything together. Where's my, okay, it's this, and then an octopi, and then I'm going to select these 3 colors. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to do new, and I'm going to do 8.5, and I'm going, oops, cancel. I'm under advanced options. I'm going to have 3 artboards. Okay, is everybody with me? I'm in Illustrator. Do I need to wait for Illustrator to load? For anyone? No? Okay, you guys are good to go. I'm going to open this up. Here we have 3 boards. I'm going to paste, and voila. What's this? Okay, that's not enough, so I have to go back and get this. And there we go. All right. All right, so I'm going to take the color swatches and move them over. And each of these images I'm going to bring in, and I'm going to bring it up really big so I can see. Okay. And then I'm going to select and do an eyedropper on the color that I want. And I'm going to change the color for each of these. And then once that's done, I want to delete this extra. And because we like clean files in Angela's class, we're going to delete all the swatches in the swatch book. the swatches in the swatch book.
Do you by chance remember what the name of this dingbat font was?
When you started talking, it flashed in my head and then it went away.
Dang it.
Fish icons? No.
If you recall it, I would love to know.
A little pick, fish. Are you listening?
A little pick fish?
I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Okay, we have this saved. Da 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 da. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to save it. No, we don't have it saved. We need to do that next. So I'm going to save as, and I'm going to find my little folder on my desktop. Here we go. And I'm going to create a folder. And I'm going to call it either assets or fonts or no, asset or art. And my AI file is going to be called fishes because that is not a word. Fish is plural for fish. But I like saying fishes. Okay, so we're going to click save. And then we're going to create individual EPS file. And if you guys didn't know, when you do artboards, you want to make sure when you save as an EPS that you use your artboard so it saves them individually and not together. Okay? You learned this in intro with the secret code. All right. See, things keep coming back. We're building upon knowledge here, guys. That's what's so great about life. You build upon knowledge. Okay, so we're going to click OK. And then, okay, gotta wait. Now we're going to go back in the InDesign. And then we're going to go to pages 2 and 3. And that's when I'm going to bring in that. Remember I told you to pick a big fish? Did you see that movie, Big Fish? It was pretty good. Where is it? Desktop, asset. So I'm looking for the stingray. What? It's not going to show me a preview? Okay, I'm going to bring in all 3 because I'm bad like that. Like Michael Jackson, right? Okay, so this is my monster fish. So I'm going to put that on pages 4 and 5. And then, okay, here's my stingray. And I want you to put your big fish on pages 2 and 3. And I want it to go across the gutter. And then there's my octopus. And I'm going to put that on page 6. Okay, so let's go in and let's format it. Now, okay, so this is one of my biggest pet peeves. You see all this space around here? That doesn't need to be that much space around it. I like to crop it in. And you see how it, look at that. Look at it. You see the different patterns like it's a quilt? You guys know about that. You go to View, Display Performance, and over to High Quality Display. We only have 3 images in here, so it's not going to break the bank. And I'm going to scale this. You guys know the different parts of a content box, right? There's the box, and in the box, you can move it. Oops. The box, you can move it. You can crop your image. You can scale it. The content is what's inside of it. And what's inside of it, you can do the same thing, but you can also move it around within the box, and the box stays still. Okay? So there's the box, and then there's what's inside of the box. Okay? So I have my stingray, I have it blown up, and it's going across the gutter. Okay, so this is, I don't know the name of this. We're going to call it Ugly Fish.
It has a name of fish.
Yeah, it seems like it's appropriate. Like the Phoebe song, Smelly Cat. Ugly fish, why are you so gruesome? Okay, so I'm going to clone it so I have one on each page of my spread. And I'm going to do the same with the octopus. Gosh, man. Okay, so guys, I want to tell you something. Are you ready for this? This is a little personal. If there's such thing as reincarnation, I want to come back as either orca whale or octopus.
Oh, do octopus.
I want to do octopus because they just eat seafood all day.
That and they're still incredibly smart.
Yes, they are very smart. Did you
Oh,
hear?
they're delicious.
Now, they're delicious too, but I'm not going to get eaten.
Yeah, but orcas are assholes.
Yeah, they are. Okay, so have you guys? Okay, so when I was a kid, my parents used to take us to the Baltimore Aquarium. This is when it was affordable. Okay, now it's like, damn, you got to have AAA and Groupon and all that stuff to get in for cheap, and especially if you got a lot of kids. So you remember you would walk through the whole aquarium, and you get to the top of the aquarium, and then you had to go down through the shark tank, and it would be like the spiral, and they had all these sharks.
They still have that.
They still have it, but
Yeah.
they got 4 sharks. When I was a kid, that sucker was filled to the. It was scary. It was scary, and it was filled. Okay. Now, what happened to all those sharks? They brought in an octopus, and they would come in every morning, and there would be a shark that would be floating around that's dead, like body parts. And they're like, "What's going on? What's getting in these tanks at night and killing the sharks?" Okay. Now, this octopus was in a glass, like aquarium, away from the sharks, but connected to the aquarium. The octopus slid between the glass to get into the shark tank and then would eat a shark and then go back in to the tank and the next day. So now they only have like 4 sharks and it's not even scary anymore.
Yum yum.
It's scary for different reasons.
Huh?
It's scary for different reasons now.
Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this is on both sides. And now I'm going to show you guys this thing called text wrap. Okay, now text wrap allows, see, if I was to print this yellow, it would cover the black text. Okay, but I don't want that. So if I do text wrap and you're like, Angela, where's text wrap? Go to Windows, go down to text wrap. I learned about this in 12th grade in journalism class. Okay, so there's 5 different modes. You can have none. And then you have wrap around the bounding box, the box that the image is in. Or you can do wrap around a shape. But what's unique about this is that where it says contour options, you can detect edges so it wraps around the actual object. Okay? Now, this is not good design, guys. Okay? You can also do where it jumps. Like it doesn't have anything, like if I made it smaller. Yeah, it doesn't have anything at the top or the bottom. Or you can just have it at just the top. Okay, and you're like, why would you do that? I've seen a lot of museum quality books where they use this type of format. Now, you also have to understand 2 things. The content box and what's inside of the box, the content. So this has the it has the text wrap applied to it, not the physical box. Wait, it didn't. What happened? Yeah, okay. Okay, they changed it. They changed it on me. Oh well. All right. So if you do this and you detect edges, make sure, I like to work in picas, that you put some space around your object so it's not all up in your image like plaque. And then this is bad. So if you click on the image, you get like a little path around it. And with this, you can go in and make adjustments. You could treat it just like a actual path in Photoshop or Illustrator where you can make adjustments. You can add points, take points away. Okay? So just for the fun of it, that's what I'm going to do. Let's just take this out and move this over here. Okay, and then I want to do it with all of my images. Okay, and it's bad design, but we just got to get through this. We got to get through the night,
What you're about to say, we're just getting started.
No, we got to get through the night, cause I got grad school homework to do, man. Lord have mercy. It never stops. It never stops. And then he gives you a break during the week. I would rather have that break during the weekend. And I'm in another group project.
I feel like you're actually learning new stuff.
I'm sorry?
I feel like you're actually learning new stuff. Or you're just kind of like practicing like the skills you already have.
I'm learning like little tidbits because regardless of how many times you take a class, you should learn something new every time you take it. I'm definitely learning from my classmates.
Like, is it worth taking?
I'm enjoying myself. I'm having fun. Yeah. Confession. I'd rather be there than here because I'm having fun and I'm enjoying myself and I'm learning and I don't have to worry about somebody on their phone and this is a lecture. You guys need to get this. And I'm just stressing out because you all have to be professionals and I got to help you get there. There, I'm like, I'm already doing this. Oh, you went to a job fair. It wasn't that nice. How did it go? Oh, you want to bring in a book on this? And yeah, I like it. It's fun. And it's interesting. It's entertaining.
Would you recommend it?
Grad school? No, unless you want to teach. With the price of college? No. But if you want to teach, that's the only way you're going to get in. Unless you find a program that has an AAS program like I did, and then get in that way. And then when they have a full-on associates, then you can go back and get your master's. But yeah, that's how I got it because I just needed to have a bachelor's degree to teach for an AAS program. But now that we have the AFA, I have to get a master's if I want to teach the fun classes. Question? No? Okay. All right, are we ready to move on? Okay, so we've applied the artwork. Now we have to apply the varnish. So let's go back to Illustrator. Remember fishes? We're going to save as, and we're going to add a V for varnish at the end of the file name. Don't tell anybody that's our code word for varnish, V. I know it's a tough one to crack, but V is for varnish. That's how you know if someone's been in Angela's class. You go up to them and you say, V is for varnish. And if they go, yeah, you'll know. Okay. All right, so we're going to save, click OK. Now what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a spot color into our document. So if I go to the little book, the little library at the bottom here, and click on, oops, I don't want that. We're going to click on this, and we're going to go to the color books. Now, what are we printing on? We're printing on coded or uncoded? Coded. So I go with the opposite. I'm going to pick Pantone Solid Uncoded just to mix things up, to make it weird. Okay? All right. So I need my thumbnails to be a little bit larger. What color should we pick? Any suggestions? Purple. Why purple? Because what? It just came to your mind. The purple fairy said, and you said purple. Okay, so purple is a good choice, but could someone tell me why, Maria?
It's not like any of those colors.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, you pick a color has nothing to do with your color scheme. Then why'd you say it? Lord have mercy. So we're going to pick purple because it's so different. Amir, you would have been like elevated in my head just a little bit more if you had said that. Don't be afraid to say what you have to say. Okay, we're going to select all of this and we're going to make the fill for it purple. Okay, and I'm going to save it because it already has a V. And then, oh, it's already an EPS. So now we just need to save as and do the artboards. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to InDesign now, and we're going to bring this in. Now, this is what I love about InDesign. Well, okay, we got wait. Before I tell you what I love about, I just love InDesign. InDesign is what some guys, how they feel about Photoshop. I feel about InDesign. Okay, we're gonna go to layers, and in layers, I'm gonna add a layer called varnish. Okay. Now I'm gonna go through on every spread and all the artwork I have. I'm gonna copy and then I'm going to paste in place. So you watch me. I'm gonna copy. I'm gonna select the stingray. Go to Edit, Copy, and then I'm gonna go to Edit and then Paste in Place, and it should give me 2. Okay. Now when I've done that, this is lit up on layer 1. I'm going to move that to varnish. Okay. And I'm going to move on to layer of pages 4 and 5. And I'm going to do the same thing. Make sure you're selecting the container, not the content. I'm going to copy and then paste in place and move those suckers up to the varnish layer. Okay. And then I'm going to do my octopi. I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste in place, and move that up to the varnish. So if I hit the layer 1, the only thing that should be left is just my artwork. But if I hit the varnish, I still have the original. Okay, is everybody with me? Does anyone need any help? Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a second to catch up. I know they're loud. Like they said, guess what, guys? The music is going to be soundproof. You're not going to be able to hear it. You know what they were talking about? The practice rooms. But I'm not complaining.
There was one dude earlier in the stairway just playing his trombone.
Yeah, I heard.
Echoing really loud.
Was it bothering you?
Not really, but I was like, really? You're going to practice here?
Some sound over.
I used to say to them all the time. They used to do that. They thought if we were in Fame, and it was a high school in Fame, and I would go out in the hallway. I'm trying to have class. Could you not sing going down the hallway? And then sometimes we would write a class. We were like, oh, have him play Charlie Brown's theme song. And then they'll be in the piano room, and we would slide it under the door. They didn't do it very often. Okay, are we ready? All right, so let's bring this in. So I'm going to lock because I don't want to mix up anything. I'm gonna have both layers visible, but I'm gonna lock layer 1 because I don't want to accidentally misplace an image that is on layer 1. Okay, I'm gonna go up to my stingray. Now watch what I'm doing. I'm going to select this image in my links palette. Show you the links palette. Okay, so it has everything that I am linking to, and it even has specific. See, everything has doubles. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to click on the relink. Oh, what was that? Was that glass?
No, that was a ruler.
Oh, okay. All right. So assets, and then we're going to go to Fishes V2. That should be my stingray. And I'm going to open it, and it's going to put it right on top of it. Like magic, but not really. You guys ever been to Silver Spring? There's this restaurant called Copper Tavern. I love going to that place. I miss going to that place. They used to have a waiter. He would come and like you order your food. And like you don't have a designated waiter. So everyone in the restaurant waits on you, right? So say we ordered some appetizers. So he would come and bring the appetizer. I'm going to play it like this. And then he would put it down. And then he'd do this. And then sparks would fly. from his sleeve like he just did a magic trick. And my friend was annoyed by it. I thought it was funny. I couldn't stop laughing. I could not stop laughing that whole evening. And then I just watched him do it. Like, regardless, he would deliver your food and go like, they'll walk away like it was magic. It wasn't, because I ordered it. I don't know where you think this is magic. Okay, so I'm going to do this for everything. And it brings it in at the same size. What is this? This is one. Okay. Hello. But don't order, if you go there, don't get the key lime pie. It's the nastiest thing you ever want. It's very tart. Unless you like tart pies. I don't. Okay, so I'm just replacing my images with my spot color. Okay. All right, so this is what it looks like. And when I zoom out and see all my pages, and then I go to layers, and if I hide the varnish, the real color shows through. Okay? And that's how you do a spot varnish. It has to be a solid spot color. I should actually do photos. If you were going to do a photo, like, okay, say Dr. Speck, it was going to do a, okay, so there's two ways you can go about doing a photo. You could do it in Photoshop or you can do it in Illustrator. Photoshop involves alpha channels, and you could do it in InDesign too if you wanted to. Say, okay. See, it added a 9th page, which I don't need, so I'm going to delete that. Oh, wouldn't it be funny if we just did his teeth?
I was actually thinking the same thing.
What? Look at his teeth. It's brighter than his eyes. Okay, so so I'm gonna put Dr. Speck's photo on layer 1, and then his varnish is gonna be on a varnish layer, and we're just gonna do his teeth just because we like messing with people. And you just take the pen tool, and I would be very precise. Right now I'm just like going around messing with it. But trust me, I would be very precise, like use a point rule, and yeah, see how off that is? Okay, you guys don't need to see. Okay, so the field is going to be yellow, and then go to the swatches palette, and my violet is in there. And now we have a spot varnish for Dr. Speck's teeth. For Dr. Speck. Okay? All right. So that's how you would do a spot varnish for an image. Okay? It has to be solid. You can't just take the image and just crop out the teeth and say make that a spot varnish. You can't do that. It should be solid. Okay, so let's talk about imposition. You guys ready to talk about imposition? Okay. So our pages, I like doing my pages horizontally because it just, I don't have to take up that much space. But when I do imposition, I have to show the pages vertically. So if I go to the little palette option menu, go down to view pages and go to vertically, it'll stack my images. Okay? All right. Now, this is what happens when you start moving. Okay, wait, first of all, in order to move things around, like right now, it's allowing me to move things around, but not the way I want it to be moved. Okay? So in order to do that, you have to allow the document pages to shuffle. So you have to turn the check mark for that off. If you don't do it, it's not going to let you do what you want to do. So that has to go. Okay? That's very important. A lot of people forget this at the final exam. Okay, so once that is done, you can start moving things around. But the problem is, now this wants to be page 1 and it can't. That's page 8. And if you've done automated numbers or page numbering, that can screw with your automated page numbering. Okay, so what you do, and this is a pain, and yes, I did that. I did it for the EPA booklet. You go through, and there's several ways of doing the page, changing the page number. You can select. Oh, wait, let's see. Can we change? I'm gonna make everything large so you guys can see. Okay, so we're going to change the page number. So there's several ways of doing it. You have to select your page, just one, and you go in the palette option menu, and you want to go to numbering and section options. And I don't have to do anything. I don't even have to click on this. This is what I want to change, but it's already highlighted. So all I have to do is just put in 2 and then click OK. Okay? Another way of changing, okay, so let's go back a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm excited and I'm jumping ahead of myself. I know this has a page number set to it because it has that rectangle above it. So all of our pages for this 8-page document is going to have a triangle above it. If it doesn't, it's just going to go along with whatever number I put in. So if I went to page 4 and changed that to say 10, now page 5 is 11, 6 is 12, okay? Another way of changing page numbers, hold down your control key on your keyboard, click on the page, and you get that pop-up window, select numbering and sections, that's going to be 4. And we have to do this for all the pages, okay? Another way of doing this is through the window. You go to layout and then down to numbering and section options. Now let me just tell you something about this entire window. You have a start selection and then document chapter numbering. I don't really use this as much. With this, I just use this. And I used to work for a company that had catalogs, and they used to have like a 32-page catalog and all be in one document. And she would put the title of the section here. Okay? Actually, it was Heifer International. You guys familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
It's a really great organization where you can buy like baby chicks for $35, and it sends it to a third world country, and it goes to a family, and they teach the family how to take care of the chickens, and the chickens grow up, and eventually the hens start having eggs, and then the kids have breakfast in the morning. They can eat eggs for breakfast, so they can go to school and be with a full stomach and learn. And then they teach the family to raise the chickens, and then eventually they can have meat. And then they're required to give some chickens to neighbors, and so they can have the same thing, and it just grows. It really helps. And you don't pay that much for it, like $45 for a water buffalo. Well, actually, I think that's a little bit more. But, you know, it's a good thing. So I used to do the catalogs for that, which was a lot of fun. But it would drive me crazy. The art director would put the word chick here. It's just 2 damn pages. It's a spread. She would put chick. So if I wanted to print out the chick spread, I had to type in chick and then the page number, 14. You drive me freaking long. Like, that is not something And there's 5 different catalogs, and they all have different page numbers. And she knew, but I didn't. So yeah, but I don't use this. You can change your numbering, the type of numbering you have here, but I don't fill this out because that affects your how to print because you have to put more information in. Okay, I'm gonna click OK, and now I'm gonna continue to input my page numbers. Input my page numbers. Input my page numbers. Okay, so we have 8 pages. Da 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 da. So according to our diagram, page 8 goes up on the left side of 1. Watch what I do, and then we'll do it together. Don't try to do when I do it. Okay. When I bring up page 8 to page 1, I should see a bracket. Do you see that bracket? That's when I know I can let go. If I see the straight line, this is not good. The straight line basically means it's just going to put it on a different spread. You see how it separated that? I don't want that to happen. I want them to be, I am the minister and I am marrying these 2 pages together. So I'm going to take 8, wait for the bracket. When I see it, let go. You see that thin line that goes between the pages? That's your gutter. Your left-hand page should be on the left-hand side. The right-hand page is on the right-hand side. If you turn in your imposition, and it's like this, it's wrong. Even though you manage to get the pages on the right side of each other, it's on the wrong side of this line. Okay? This is what you do when you want to have a page fold out. Okay? So I'm going to move this over. Okay. Now, when I move page 8 up, page 9 is now page 1. No, page 1 is now page 9. Okay? Guys, there's no way of getting around this. I tried going in and setting it manually before I move it up. It's just that's what happens. So you're going to have to change page 1 once you move that last page up. Back to page 1. Okay? All right. Are we ready to do the next step, or do I need to give you time to do it, or should we do it together? Do I need to back up the bus? Okay. So thanks to you, Destin, I'm not gonna go see Joker. I'll wait
Good.
until it's on HBO. It's good?
Yeah, I said good.
Oh, okay.
It's probably better to watch it at home.
Yeah. Was there any scary parts?
I mean, there's some extreme bouts of violence. Like it's like you're gonna see some on-screen murder and some very questionable things, but it's nothing you probably haven't seen in like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it's just kind of long.
Oh,
It's
I'll
nice to
wait.
be able to
I'll wait.
pause and go,
I'll wait.
yeah.
How are we doing? Can I move on to the next step? Okay. So the next step, pages 2 and 3 need to be separated. Okay. Just like I married these two pages, these 2 pages are now getting a divorce. Now watch and pay attention. If I'm just going to move page 3 out till I see that straight line and let go and separate it. But look at there, page 2 got the kids in a divorce. Okay, and you don't want that to happen. You didn't see that coming, Verda? I said the word divorce. What you think happens with the divorce? Everything's 50-50. Okay, so let me show you. And if you're in my type 2 class, if you have anything going across your gutter, you're going to have to do this tomorrow. Okay? Oh, God. You guys have to suffer through this again tomorrow.
Hey, whatever is gonna help it stick.
Okay, so this is how you do it. You got to do it twice. Okay, so I'm going to take my varnish layer. I'm going to select my Stingray varnish, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste in place so that I now have 2 Stingray varnishes. Okay? I'm going to take the one on top and I'm going to cut it so that, or move the content box so that it crops over and cuts off the right side. Then I'm going to select what's below it and move that to the right so that it's two boxes now showing two different views. And now I'm going to bring it to the gutter so that it looks like it's seamless, even though it's two boxes. Okay? Now I'm going to lock and hide my varnish layer and unlock layer 1 because I still have to do that with the original artwork. So you select the original artwork, you go to edit, copy, and paste in place. Select the one on top and move that over. Select the one on the bottom and move that to your right and then center it. Okay? And that's how you do it. And then when the divorce papers file, boom, everybody gets 50-50. Do I need to show that again? I know some of y'all are just sitting back and watching. You should bring popcorn next time. But I don't think, what's next time? I think we're doing the book spine. There's nothing, we're just going to walk through that. There's not going to be a video. Okay, so 2 and 3. Are we ready to go on next? What happens next? What happens next is page 7, according to our diagram, is next to 2, right? So I'm going to take page 7 and move it up to 2, excuse me, until I see that bracket, and I'm going to drop it off. And then it takes page 6 and move it next to 3 until it drops it off. And it looks weird. And then we have pages 4 and 5, that's our center spreads. So they're fine. And then when we go to print it, we're going to print it on 11 by 17, horizontal. We're going to do spreads, right? Spreads, because I'm printing 2 pages together. I want it to be centered, and I want my crop marks turned on, okay? And then I want to go to printer, because these printers can be a little like, oh, I don't know about that. And then click OK, it'll print, and then print. Now, know this, you can go ahead and save it, but in what I normally do, I save as and change the file name slightly so that my imposition file and my reader spread files are different. Okay? Oh, I didn't do it right. Damn it. Okay. So we do this printer, and we want to print it two-sided, but because it's horizontal, we want short edge binding. Print, print. Oh. Okay, so print it out front and back in order. And all you have to do now is take it, fold it in half, and you have your little publication. Wasn't expecting that reaction. Okay, I'm a little tired. All right, so that's how you do imposition and how you separate. Okay? Was that worth? How much is gas? Last time I checked, they'll say it was $2.75, which I think was a little too high, especially when I was in Alexandria off of George Washington Parkway. You can get it for $2.30 or $2.40. It's a Shell gas station, and there's I think an Exxon there right now. And I think the shell is like $2.40.
If I water it down.
Hey, it gets me from A to B. Okay, any questions? And then you package it up and it's good to go. And I'm gonna turn off the recorder now.